What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here tonight with a review for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. This is season 11, episode 4, and this episode is titled Baby Got Back Up, you guys. So, before we just jump into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a huge solid favor and please stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking this live or any of liking this live, sharing the live, and subscribing to the channel. And with that, you guys, without further ado, shall we go ahead and just hop on into this episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta? Shall we? All right, guys. So I definitely want you guys to tell me down in the live chat and in the comment section, what did you guys think about tonight's episode? Tell me in the comments. If I had to rate this episode, I think I would rate it on a number scale of 1 to 10. I would give it a 7.5. I think that's what I would give it. It wasn't a bad episode, I will say that, but it was a lot. So we'll start this episode out, and it opens up. We are in Austin, Texas, and they are down there for South by Southwest. Which, if you guys don't know what South by Southwest is, it's a big festival that they have every year for music, film, and all that stuff. So Erica Banks, she's performing, and like I've said plenty of times about Erica Banks, I do think that Erica Banks is a very talented young lady, right? I just think with Erica Banks, the issue for her was that she aligned herself with Carl Crawford. And in that situation, she made some comments about Megan Thee Stallion. And I just think that that's what did her in, because I think after she made those comments, a lot of people didn't really necessarily see it for her. So I think if she had to just worked with him and stayed neutral in the situation, I think more people would have saw it for Erica. Because like I've said plenty of times, I think Erica has immense talent. Even listening to her rap in this scene, I was like, she really has it. And I think, like I said before, if she didn't link up with him, she could have been further than what she is. Because it's interesting that you you had a hot song during the pandemic, busted, and we haven't heard anything. Well, let me not say we haven't. I haven't heard anything since she did that. So I just think that she did herself a disservice by linking up with Carl Crawford. That's just my personal opinions on the situation. But you guys can definitely let me know what you think in the comments and in the live chat. So then we see Chaotic. So Chaotic came down there and joined her, and so did Amy Luciani. And I love the fact that they are very supportive of her. So, they came down there, they told her how good she did. And then Chaotic and Amy were talking. Well, actually, all three of them were talking. So Amy is talking about how nervous she is about her performance, right? And so I love the fact that Chaotic was so supportive of Amy, telling her, like, hey, don't even think about that. Like, when you go on that stage, just give it your all, basically, right? And he told her she'll do good. And we did see her later in the episode as she performed. So this episode, it was between Atlanta and Austin. So we also saw Erica Mena. So she came down there. So I guess that she went down to Austin to support Erica Banks, right? Because we saw another performance from Erica Banks. And like I said, Erica, she has the talent. I just think that if she's still with Carl Crawford, I think she needs to ditch them and find other management and whatnot. Because if she can get with the right team, I really do think that Erica Banks can really soar in this music game, because she has the talent. And then the only thing that bothers me when I see Erica Banks is those baby hairs that are always by her eyebrows. Are just like, that is something that is keeping everybody in the chokehold, is these baby hairs, right? So Chaotic and Erica were talking to Erica Mena, and they were telling her about the stuff that Mama D said, that Diamond missed her period, right? So Erica Mena is like, well, Mama D lies and Mama D don't take her medication. We're gonna talk about Mama D later this week. We're gonna talk about Mama D. We're gonna talk about Scrappy. We're gonna talk about them because they are in the blogs. They were in the blogs last week, and I have a lot of opinions about what Mama D said about Bambi, and I have a whole lot of opinions about Scrappy. And the things that I have to say about Scrappy will not be the nicest things that I can say about anybody. So I have a whole lot of things that I want to say in regards to, young Scrappy, because I think Scrappy is, a loser at this point. Because I mean, the thing that, like I said, we'll discuss it. So Erica is like, actually it was funny because Chaotic was talking about it, and he was like, "Well, if you tell Bambi, don't tell Bambi that you know Mama D told Amy, Amy told Erica, Erica told me, and I told you." She was like, "I'm not gonna do that, Chaotic. Like, we're not gonna play that game." And I was like, "Exactly." So Erica says that what she wants to do is that she just wants to sit down with her friend because she's friends with both Bambi and with Scrappy. So she just wants to sit down with Scrappy and ask Scrappy before she even runs it to, Bambi. And I actually have to say, with that, I actually respect Erica because that makes a whole lot of sense. Instead of me just going to my friend and saying, "Hey, girl, so I heard that your baby, your husband, or soon to be ex husband, is having a baby with his ex girlfriend." I respect her in that regards and saying, "You know what? Instead of me saying going to Bambi and telling her this, let me go talk to Scrappy first and confirm if this is true or if it's false. And if it's false, then we can leave it right here and it doesn't have to go anywhere. And then if it's true, then I got to figure out how to tell my friend." And I have a lot of opinions when it comes to Erica, um, Bambi, and Sierra. I have a lot of opinions about them, and I'm gonna talk about it in just a minute when I talk about Sierra, because I just have a lot of opinions about those three in particular. So we saw later in the episode as Scrappy was performing, Chaotic and Amy performed, and they all honestly did really good, right? So Erica Mena at one point pulled Scrappy to the side. She was like, "I need to have a conversation with you." And in this situation with Erica, I really wanted Erica to mind her business because the way you keep talking to Scrappy, like you're trying to, you're I get it, you defend him, Bambi, but the way you keep trying to defend her is like you want him to go back to her. And I'm like, Erica, it feels like you're projecting your relationship with Safari onto Scrappy and Bambi. That's what I think. Let's get this comment from Marla. Erica Mena and her wand of teeth need to just mind her business. That may be your friend, but stay out of married folks' business. And that's exactly what I was just saying. When it comes to Erica, I want her to stay out of their business because it has nothing to do with you. You don't know what's going on in Scrappy and Bambi's household. So you can say that, you can say what you see from your friend, and that's fine. But for the way Erica kept digging and digging and digging, I'm like, Erica, once again, it feels like projection with your relationship with Safari. That's all I got from that was just nothing but pure projection. So at one point, she just blurted it out. "So you got Diamond pregnant?" And he was like, "Wait a minute, what you talking about?" So in his interview, he was like, "In order to get somebody pregnant, you got to do, the bedroom boogie with them." And I'm guessing he's saying he ain't done a bedroom boogie with Diamond. Now we saw Diamond last week on the BET Awards red carpet. So yeah, yeah, we know she's not pregnant, or if she was, she probably has done, had a procedure done, right? So it is what it is. But honestly, I just really wanted Erica to mind her business. That was all I needed from Erica. Like, mind your business. And it just felt like a bit of, like I said, it felt like projection to me that, from what happened with her and Safari. Now, with her and Safari, I still don't understand why she married that man, because Safari has always been an ass clown. And I don't know why she felt like she could change him. Or I don't know what it was with Erica, because I just don't understand what you saw in Safari and why you thought that anything could be different with you in Safari. And I'd be dang on YouTube. Y'all have already demonetized this video, and I only said one curse word so far. But yeah, when Erica and Safari, like I said, I felt like she was projecting her relationship onto Scrappy and Bambi. But let me know what you guys think about that in the live chat and in the comments. But next up, we're gonna move over to Sierra and her man. So what I was saying earlier about Sierra is the fact that when it comes to Sierra, Bambi, and Erica, honestly, I think they're all miserable. I think they all are misery loves company type people at this point, right? I think they all have band together and they go, it's a lot for me when it comes to those three. I think that each one of them have gotten too invested in each other's relationships. So they take on the strife and pain of the other person instead of just focusing on what's going on in your relationship. I think that's the issue with Sierra, Bambi, and Erica. I think that they have, linked up together, become friends through pain, hurt, and misery, and then they just project that onto each other and and the minute they're with, right? So you guys know that Sierra told us that she was married to the guy Eric, right? So she is at the house, her mama's there and her best friend is there, so they're helping her pack up the house. So she still hasn't told her mom that she is married to Eric, but her friend Jody knows. So she finally sits down and tell her mama that she's married to Eric, but then she tells her mama that she's moving out. I was like, well, grand opening, grand closing, huh? So Eric showed up, and I think that this thing was put on because once again, like I said about another, I forget what show it was, but he showed up with a microphone on. So production knew he was coming, and he knew he was coming, right? So Eric and Sierra got into a whole argument with each other because Eric's thing is that Sierra cheated on him, and one of her sisters told him that, and he said that you said you would never be with a rapper, but you slept with a rapper. So Sierra's thing is, well, you cheated on me many times, so my one time cheating doesn't add up to your multiple times cheating and the lies that you told her. I'm like, ma'am, a lie is a lie is a lie. Like, I don't care how you try to flip it, spin it, rub it down. A lie is a lie, right? So he told her that, she ain't no different from the girls that he's been with. And I was like, sir, that's a little bit disrespectful. I mean, okay, a little harsh. But if you knew she was no different from quote unquote the girls that you were dating before, then why did you marry her? I don't care if even if Eric tries to say that she begged him to marry her. Okay, so you can beg a person to marry you all day, every day. If you don't want to marry that person, if you're not in love with that person, then why would you marry them? Like, let's put two and two together and try to figure out how we're gonna get four. Because when I put two and two together with that, I'm not getting four, I'm getting six. Because nothing in that equation made any sense. For him to say that she begged him to marry him, if you don't love her, like if she begged you to marry her, then why did you do it? Like, that's the question I'm gonna continue to ask. Why did you marry her if she begged you to marry her? Just really want to know the answer to that question. But let's go ahead and move forward, you guys. So next up, we got Rasheeda. Rasheeda decided to take herself over to Carlie's crib, right? And for the life of me, I don't understand why Rasheeda felt it in her heart that she needed to go over to Carlie's crib to talk about this situation with Karlie and Spice. Rasheeda, this ain't got SHIT to do with you. So I feel like you should mind your business and go worry about, Kirk and his earrings and what they're doing, right? Because I'm gonna ask this question one more time. Where is Cannon? Because I ain't saw Cannon since y'all mentioned him on this show. Don't y'all got a stepson, a little stepson that you got stepson that you need to worry about? I'm just asking for the people who are wondering, like, where is Cannon? So, Rasheeda is talking to Karlie about this situation with, her and Nita, and this situation about Karlie moving over to the house, right? Because coincidentally, Nita is at the house. I was like, okay, this is very interesting that Nita is here, right? So Nita is saying that when it comes down to her and Karlie, that she never really talked about Spice since Karlie and Spice have been on the outs with each other. She's never had a conversation with Karlie about Spice, and do I believe that? Maybe, maybe not, right? But it does look a little funny, right? Even if you go back to the first episode when Shekinah was saying that, she reached out to Nita to find out where Spice was, and, Karlie knew, but Shekinah didn't know. And at the time, Karlie and Spice weren't cool. So it is a little weird. I will say that it is a little weird. So I get where Spice is coming from. And I'm gonna talk about Spice a little bit deeper as we get into it. So Carly and Meta were talking to Rasheeda about the house, right? So Carly says that she was always going to move into that neighborhood, but originally what she was going to do was she was actually supposed to build a house in the area, and I think it was supposed to be a few houses down from where Spice lives. And so the question that I've asked is, so if you were supposed to build a house in the neighborhood, then what actually happened to you building the house? And it's fine if you say, contractors fell through or I didn't have the funds to do it. But then Carla says, she saw that house and she got that house. And I think she said they offered her 100 million or 10,000, not 100 million, 100,000 or $10,000 to move in the house. I was like, now, I haven't bought a house yet, but I don't think people, well, sometimes they might. No, I don't know that people offer you money to move into a house. I know that if they are trying to gentrify an area, they will offer you money to move out of the house so that they can tear it down and build something else there. But I've never necessarily heard of, people paying you to move into a neighborhood. But maybe Carl is telling the truth. I don't know. But like I said, Rashida was doing a whole lot, and I don't understand why it's any of Rashida's concern what Carly is doing, and I just didn't get it. And now, mind you, I do understand how the optics of this. It does look like single white female or single black female because you move across the street from me, and you're now friends with my best friends. So it does look a little creepy, and I'll give Spice that. So Carly is then also talking about the fact that Jasmine is pregnant, and that she's gonna have to go to Trinidad, because her grandmother had passed away, so she's gonna have to figure out how to get her family from there to Atlanta. And I was like, but I thought when we went to Trinidad a few seasons ago, most of your family was there. But maybe I'm wrong because it's been a while since I really watched Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. But I do remember that there was one season that the cast took a cast trip to Trinidad and we met Carly's family. But I could, I don't know what family we met, but okay. And then Carly also says that her mom is in a hospital and she just doesn't know if her mom is gonna make it. And I do empathize with her right there, right? I empathize with the fact that she's lost her grandmother and she doesn't know if her mom is gonna make it. But I actually agree with Rashida. I was thinking the same thing. Okay, Carla, I get what you're saying, but how does that equate to what I'm talking to you about? I'm talking to you about this situation with you and Spice, and then you're telling me that you're going to be leaving and Jasmine's going to be here by herself, and then like this ain't adding up either. So I definitely got where Rashida was coming from, and like I said a few minutes ago, I definitely do think that with Rashida, I feel like Rashida overstepped. It had nothing to do with Rashida, and Rashida should have minded her business. But Rashida's getting paid to be on a reality show and stir up some mess. So I guess she was doing her job, right? So she was minding her business. So then later in the episode, we see the gender reveal that Carly has set up for Jasmine, right? So at first, the only two people who were there were Jessica White and Safari, right? So Jessica and Safari, they had a conversation with each other. She mentioned his wife. I was like, now, ma'am, you know that this man is divorced. So I don't know why you mentioned his wife. He has no wife, right? He is out here freely gallivanting around being Safari, right? A cornball. So then here's my thing with Jessica. Like, she's a beautiful girl and I really want to like her. But like I've said in previous reviews, I just don't know how much longer I can sit here and literally listen to her talk about this relationship or lack thereof. Because even she said it was polyamorous. So she told him about this relationship with Nick Cannon. She said it was polyamorous, but she said it was only polyamorous on his side. So you knew that he has a harem of women. So oh my God, like I swear to you guys, I'm so sick of hearing about this woman and Nick Cannon. I would prefer to never hear anything else about Nick Cannon. Let me get to this comment. Why would Jasmine be by herself? Where's her baby daddy and his family? That's a good question because I really don't understand that either. That's why some of these scenes I mean, we know with Love and Hip Hop, they put 20 on 10. Because I didn't understand that myself. If Jasmine is pregnant and the father is in her life, then why would she be by herself if you're going to Trinidad? Like, shouldn't she be with? Shouldn't I mean? Don't they live together? They should. If they don't live together, does I mean? I don't know how y'all feel about this, but when I mean, if he don't live with her and they got their own place, is he not staying with her while Carly is out of town or whatever? Like, make it make sense. But yeah, it didn't make sense. None of that made sense to me with Carly. And then, like I said, with Jessica White, I just really just like she's a beautiful girl. We know she's a model, but what else is there? She hasn't told us anything about herself. I think we're going to get a little bit more about her next week because she went to the doctor and I think she has fibroids. Because I'm like, I want to know about Jessica. You want to do music? I want to hear the music from Jessica. I don't want to hear anything else about Nick Cannon. We know who that man is. You knew who that man is. So it feels like she wants a pity party. Like I said in the first episode review when I talked about Jessica White, girl, look, I know that you lost your baby, and I know that had to hurt. But take that as a sign from God that you did not need to be among those harem of women. Because I mean, he got how many kids does Nick Cannon have at this point? What, 12? And how many baby mamas? Girl, be glad you're not one of multiple baby mamas. Like, that's all I gotta say to Justin. But I really do want her to stop bringing up Nick Cannon because if she brings him up one more Jessica White got one more time to mention Nick Cannon, and I'm gonna scream, and I'm not gonna even mention her on this review because that is the only thing I know about her besides her being a model and her wanting to do music. All I know is Nick Cannon this, Nick Cannon that, Nick. Girl, we are tired of hearing about Nicholas Cannon. Please stop mentioning him. I would prefer to not hear that man's name, right? So Bambi got there, Sierra got there, and they saw that Jessica was talking to Safari, right? And like I said a few minutes ago, when it comes to Sierra, Bambi, and Erica, they really do come off very, very bitter. And I hope nobody takes that in a disrespectful way. That's just the vibe that I see from them on this show. It just very much gives bitter, right? And I think that each one of the ladies are better off without the men. I can definitely say that Erica Mena is better off without Safari. I can definitely say that Bambi is better off without Scrappy. So, and I get it, pain and hurt, right? I understand that, but I just can't. I just can't with the whole y'all come beat up on these men. We know they ain't ish. We know that Safari ain't shit. We know that Scrappy ain't shit. Scrappy definitely ain't shit. Like I said, I got a lot to say about Scrappy, and I'm gonna say it later on this week when we get to it because I have a whole lot of things that I want to say about Scrappy because Scrappy is a little boy that is trapped in a man's body. That is all that he is. He is not any type of man in my eyes because the things that Scrappy has done to his family, that just screams a petulant little boy who his mother babies him and codifies him. And I'm not gonna sit here and do that. Like I said, I got issues with Scrappy and I got some big issues with Mama D because Mama D is a contradiction in herself, what she said about Bambi on, the social media streets. So I got a lot of things to say about them. So like I said, with Erica and with Bambi, more specifically those two, y'all should really count your blessings that y'all do not have those two childish ass men in your lives. Yes, you have kids with them, but what both Erica and Bambi need to do is figure out a healthy way to co-parent with these two jackasses. That's really all I got to say with that. But like I said, they just come off very, very bitter, and I really want for those two, Erica and Bambi, and even Sierra, I want them to go just sit down with somebody and just let out all that pain and let that hurt go. Let it go and move on with your lives because they're beautiful women, despite what they may have done to their faces and stuff, they're still beautiful women. And there's some men out there that'll be happy to be with them. So again, count your blessings that those three men. I don't even know if Sierra's still with Eric or not. But if she's not, y'all count y'all blessings that y'all are done with them, right? So at the baby shower, we see Spice. She showed up and Safari had the Safari, he put 20 on 10 when he saw Spice, right? So Karlie, she showed up, and when Karlie showed up, she saw all the girls were there, and she put on the waterworks. I was like, oh my God, Karlie, what are you crying for? Like, but I had to remember, I'm like, you know what, Karlie is an actress, so she's putting on them acting chops, because I was like, there's no reason for Karlie to be sitting here just in tears. It made no sense to me why she was in tears, right? So Spice and Mita were talking, and Spice told Mita the reason why she looks at her sideways is because you built this friendship with Karlie, and at the time, me and Karlie weren't even kicking it with each other, right? So they got into a whole ass argument with each other, and I feel two ways about this situation with Mita and with Spice. I do feel like Spice might be putting a little bit of putting 20 on 10, so to speak, because here's my thing. If Mita is still being a good friend to you, and she's just, happens to develop a friendship with Karlie, she hasn't abandoned you. Well, if you feel that she hasn't abandoned you, if she hasn't abandoned you, if she hasn't, started talking negatively about you to Karlie, then it's, oh, like, you can be, here's the thing, you can have a friendship with someone that is not friends with your friend. The thing is, you don't cross lines. So like when I have my best friend. So my best friend, if my best friend is friends with somebody that I don't like, what I would prefer for my best, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, okay, I don't like that you friends with this person. I don't like that you go out with this person. I don't like that you do this with this person. What I'm gonna say to my best friend is, me and you have been friends for years. All I ask is, when you with that person, that you don't talk about me to that person, and that person don't talk about you, talk about me to you, right? And then when we're together, I won't talk about that person, and you don't talk about that person to me, and that's how we keep it. But again, this is love and hip hop, and I feel like when it comes to them, they do, they do the theatrics, right? So my issue now with Mita, when it comes to Mita, because I think what Spice is trying to say is she feels like Mita kind of switched up on her just a little bit, right? So here's the thing when it comes to that. If I'm going to be friends with you, continue to treat your friends the same way that you've always treated them. Don't treat them any differently. So if you and your friends talk, like, don't abandon them. Don't make them feel abandoned, so to speak, right? Keep your friendships the same. Be equal across the board. Be neutral, and that's really all I feel. But I do feel like with Spice and Mita, I do feel like it was a whole lot, and I do feel like there's, it could be 50-50, right? I can see Spice's side and I can see Mita's side. So at the end of it, we get to the gender reveal, and we find out that Jasmine is having a girl. So congratulations to Jasmine and the father of her child. So that was really the episode, you guys. Like I said, the episode, it wasn't a whole lot, but it gave, and I enjoyed the episode. I do want to say one thing before I get off of here. Erica Mena. So when Erica was talking to Scrappy, y'all know how Erica is. Erica got mouth almighty, tongue everlasting, right? And at one point, she was going off on Scrappy. She was going off on Scrappy. But then at the end of the episode, you see her with her face all frowned up and scrunched up because she's crying. I'm like, see, and that goes back to what I just said a few minutes ago. When it comes to Erica's, Bambi, and Sierra, I think that their issues are that they've taken on each other's issues, and Erica is projecting her hurt and her pain. The things that she was saying to Scrappy, I feel like, are the things that Erica wanted to say to Safari, but she never said it because they were always in combat mode. They were always fighting with each other. They were combative. And I feel like that was the thing that Erica always wanted to say to Safari, but she never vocalized. She never could vocalize that, like I said, because they were always argumentative. They were always fighting with each other. I feel like that's really what it was with Erica. I think that the things that she was saying to Scrappy was what she wanted to say to her ex-husband. And so that's where I feel when it comes to Erica, Sierra, and Bambi, Yes, they have issues with Scrappy, Safari, and whatever his name is, Sierra's husband. They have issues with those men, but at the same time, y'all are taking on each other's plight and is getting all bottled up together, and y'all are just each time y'all are around one of the men, y'all just lash out at them because y'all are not lashing out at your own men. But let me know what you guys think about that in the think about that and think about this episode in the live chat or in the comment section below, you guys. And that is all I got for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I will see you guys for something else. Actually, I'm about to get off of this live, and I gotta go do a I'm gonna go do a video for the drama that happened yesterday with Melody from Love and Marriage Huntsville and the bird brain dolphin mouth woman. So I will have that up later tonight. So it's already 9 o'clock my time, so it might be up about 10 or 10:30, maybe even 11 o'clock tonight, you guys. But be on the lookout for that, and I will catch you guys in the next one. So you guys, please do me a solid favor out there. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, you guys. Be blessed, and I will see you guys for something else. The next live will be Saturday. So actually, no, yeah, we have a live on Saturday. So we will be doing Rated to Love live. I'll do my regular review for Rated to Love, and then I'll come on Saturday afternoon and do a live. And then after that, we will have our live on Sunday for Love and Marriage Detroit. So yeah, I will catch you guys for those. But yeah, like I said, you guys, be on the lookout for my video. It might be a little long, the video that I'm about to do talking about Ariane Curry and Melody from Love and Marriage Huntsville. But I'll see you guys later. Bye, you guys. Have a good night.